It's Pride Week in Canada's capital, and this year the celebration is particularly significant as it comes with the news that the City of Ottawa and the Province of Ontario has its first openly gay mayor. In an op-ed in the Ottawa Citizen, Jim Watson says the choice to come out of the closet took him almost 4 decades to make. Mayor Watson joins us this morning. Good morning, Mr. Mayor. Thank you so much for being here.
Morning. Thank you, Ben, for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, we've seen lots of reaction to the news, even the Prime Minister who said brave words that I'm sure will inspire Ottawans and all Canadians to feel free to be themselves. Mr. Mayor, how does it feel to be called brave?
Well, that's kind of the Prime Minister to say that. I think there are lots of other braver people than I took a long time to come out of the closet. I have great admiration, particularly for young people who are going through the process that I went through as a teenager, trying to figure out your own sexuality. And, they're really the role models in many ways, because it's a lot tougher as a young person because of all of the pressures of being in school and cyberbullying and everything else. So my hat's off to them. But I've been very, very, people have been very, very kind. I think about 95% of the emails and tweets and so on have been very, very positive, and I'm grateful for that.
Well, you said in your op-ed that, quote, unlike today, there were virtually no resources to seek for guidance or help or just to talk when you were growing up, no LGBTQ clubs or gay-straight alliances. Ontario's new sex ed curriculum has been criticized for ignoring LGBTQ issues. And in Alberta, protections around outing students in gay-straight alliances to their parents have been removed. What's your take on these policies? Well, they're very regressive. And, as you pointed out, when I was a teenager in the 70s, it seems like a long time ago, and it was, there were really no supports. And my dad was transferred a lot, so I went to 4 high schools in 5 years, and as a result, even if I wanted to come out, first of all, there were no supports, and secondly, it would have been a pretty lonely coming out because I really didn't know anyone at the new school that I arrived at. So when I see governments that are sort of pulling back on allowing schools and teachers to help students, I don't think that's helpful at all, because you see the suicide rate amongst gay and lesbian and trans young people. It's much higher than the average teenager, and I think students do need some help, whether they can get it from their parents or the school. The more information, the better. And as I said at the end of my column in the Citizen, you should be comfortable with yourself when you want to come out. If you don't want to come out, that's your business. No one should pressure you. But, think about coming out earlier, because I regret not coming out earlier, but don't wait for 40 years either. Mr. Mayor, you said that about 95% of the tweets and emails you've received have been positive. I want to talk about that 5%. On Saturday, an Ottawa event featuring drag performers was interrupted by protesters who called it child abuse. What can be done about that 5% of angrier people to make the city more inclusive? Well, I think the community responded very well. The very next day, they had a pride picnic in a neighborhood called Hintonburg, and a lot of people showed up just to ensure that that incident that happened in Bell's Corners didn't happen again. It's sad when people whose hearts are filled with such hate show up to disrupt an event involving parents and their children to celebrate inclusivity and pride. There's always going to be, social media, as you know, Ben, is an anonymous way to attack people, and you grow a thicker skin when you're in politics, like I've been for many years. But, I think it's just standing up to these bullies and pushing back. And I think it gives, the people who always ask, well, what do you need to come out for? Or why do you need a pride parade? Why should you raise the rainbow flag? That's exactly why, because there's still discrimination and still hatred in some people's hearts and minds. And you have to be really aggressive to stand up for that, to say, look, it doesn't matter who you love, it's your life, and live it as you should. Well, Mr. Mayor, thank you for your time. Congratulations on this new chapter in your life, and we hope that it opens up new possibilities for you. All the best to you, sir. Thank you very much, Ben. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.